All right, so I thought I'd record these videos kind of on my drive after dropping off the school to talk through developing a business and where I'm at. It's been a struggle for me. So we stopped selling grass-fed beef in 2019, and from that point forward, it's now 2025, April or May of 2025. From that point forward, I've told myself that I want to continue being an entrepreneur, and I can almost feel like I am, but I'm not. And I've been a wantrepreneur since 2019, the end of 2019, and I'm not okay with that. It's my North Star, and so a big part of what I'm doing now is focusing in, zeroing in, and not stopping. So Valentine's Day, I launched the Local Beef podcast, and so far we have 250 downloads, which I feel fantastic about. Last week, a couple weeks ago, I decided that I needed to record videos to help promote the Local Beef podcast through YouTube and Instagram, and I'm so excited that I did. It's really changed my outlook. I got an app called the Teleprompter app, and that app has helped me because I put in like the copy from the podcast. I just paste it in there, and it just scrolls like a teleprompter, and it looks like I'm recording a video authentically, which I mean it is authentic, but it doesn't look like I'm reading. And so it's been wonderful. I've only now recorded just my introduction, and I think that how I'm gonna approach it is I've got 6 episodes of my podcast recorded. So I have an introduction and 6 episodes, and 2 more in the works. And then I'm also setting up interviews with Montana ranchers over the next several weeks and months. And the podcast where I'm just talking about beef and the things that are going on with beef, I'm going to continue recording those, but what I'm going to try and do, instead of doing them, the 6 that I've already recorded, I'm just going to go out in the field and try to knock them all out over a period of a few days. They're all about 15 minutes each, and so I'm going to knock those out. And the cool thing is now I understand Adobe's editing software for videos. So I was using Adobe to edit the Audition, and which is the podcast audio, and now I'm using Adobe, I think it's Premiere, to go and edit the video, and it's a fantastic. Like, I can do captions. I'm starting to figure it out, and I can create shorts. And now, kind of my process with that is to start tethering together highlights from a podcast episode to make one short. I have been just doing shorts and taking clips from the podcast of a actually I haven't done any 15s yet, 30-second and 1 minute clip, and actually it's gotten good traction. Like, everything is over 100 views. My most, like, I've got one that is 1,300 views, And it's starting to then push to the video. And my main podcast introduction video, where I'm outside giving my 6-minute introduction to the podcast, it's already broken over 40. So I think I'm getting some traction and some momentum, and momentum is huge for me. Like, I once heard on Russell Brunson's podcast that when you have ADD, you don't, which I do, which I think everybody does, honestly. It's on a spectrum, just like, they say autism, it's on a spectrum. But ADD, for me, I feel like is a superpower when I harness it correctly. And, like, I can just laser focus on something. And when I'm laser focused on business and business ideas, then it really can, one, I feel good. Like, it just is a good feeling, and that's one of the ways that I can get into, like, the flow state that they talk about sports, right? And it's, I don't know, it's a crazy feeling, but it feels really, really fantastic to just be in that flow state and have things coming. And when I'm not like laser focused and I'm distracted, I get frustrated and things get harder for me. So I think that the discipline really is the missing piece for me. It's not hitting snooze. It's, do I want to, it's almost been 10 years, right? Like, I can't, I'm in year 6, almost. I think we stopped selling beef in October, November. But we really started having problems with the business in April. That's the month, April 2019. We sent out about 300 shipments, and they got delayed a day. Most of them were late. It was really the beginning of the fall of our business, beef business. And so from there out, in my, like, thought process, I feel this failure, and it's a struggle because I know how hard it can be when your brain goes to an all or nothing kind of place and thinking, and that's really what I've done with that. Like, no, I'm not a failure. Like, that thing didn't work for a reason. I learned from it, and now I'm moved on and doing other things, and those other things are actually bigger, right? Like, I was just kind of serving, small number of people. The business that I was developing wasn't the right one. It wasn't the right path. It wasn't the right time. And now, like, it could be, it is. Like, I've got so much clarity on this. So giving you kind of the scoop of what it is I'm doing. So there's a lot in my head. I'm a visionary, and the problem with being a visionary is it's challenging to take action, and take the correct action. But I know that's exactly what I need to do, is pick a direction and take action. So starting the podcast was the best thing that I could have done, because it gave me direction. And I've gone back and forth whether that is the right direction for me or not. And I want to help farmers and ranchers. I know that that's core to what I want to do, how I want to spend my time, how I enjoy spending my time in a work environment. And I've gone back and forth with different business ideas. Let's go through those. One of them, I was for about 6 months or a year. I even talked to a couple friends, Seth and Katie, about partnering with me in this business. But the field I'm in is called Project Controls, and Project Controls is a field that has, it's like airline pilots. You get a high salary. There's nobody that is experienced in that field and nobody really coming up in the field. So it's going to train people to how to do it and set up a business to kind of bring in people that are inexperienced into the field and mentor them. But it wasn't something I could see myself doing in 10 or 20 years, right? Like I would sell that business. I wouldn't continue it. And that's not how I want to spend my time. Like I think it's great. I definitely could do that. I think it would be a good, successful business. But that's not for me. So what I've mostly been focusing on now are a couple paths. So I know from selling beef, like we ended up shipping, and shipping beef can be, just dropping this off at the house. Shipping beef can be one of the hardest, most challenging things. It also helps, right? Like we did deliver door to door, and that was a huge challenge. It took me 8 hours or 10 hours to deliver to 20 or 25 homes, Bend, Oregon. So I definitely didn't enjoy that. Don't recommend it. One second. Okay. Just set this down. We're building a house, which is always fun as well. We always have 1,000 things happening. Okay. Yeah, 55. All right. I think I'm done here. Find the key. That's weird. Did I lock it back up? Oh, that's a good way to lock up the house. Okay. So, kind of forgot where I was. Yeah, just I've been struggling with what it is, and honestly, a big part of it is analysis by paralysis, as they say. You know, I come up with an idea, I start things, and then I get into this mode of being like, it's not perfect yet. Like, it's just, I don't know, stop and keep breaking things. Do things that don't work. Don't worry if, nobody watches, right? Like, nobody is going to watch for a while. And I need to look on a longer time horizon than, one day or 1 week or 1 month, even 1 year. Tony Robbins says that we often underestimate what we can accomplish in a year and overestimate what we can accomplish in 10. And I have completely done that with both. If I look back at the last 10 years ago, I just started, we moved to a ranch, right? Like, we gave up this field that I'm in, project controls, and took a I moved it into a part-time job, and we worked on the ranch in Spray. We, together with my dad, we bought 160 acres of farmland, and didn't have a house, and long story, raised cattle and chickens, and just raised our girls there. And when we started selling beef, it went great at first. We're just serving the local Oregon community, and I should have, hindsight's always 20/20, right? But they say success leaves clues. And I had gotten a training, I paid quite a bit of money, $300 or $500 for this training from Joel Salatin, and it was fantastic. And he had all these wonderful ideas, and I started implementing them. But then I kept learning, right? I didn't just find one mentor. That's what you're supposed to do. Find one mentor and just learn from them and do their things until you have accomplished the things that they're teaching you, and then you can find another mentor. I didn't do that. I just went out on the internet and searched for whoever I could find. And of course, there's not a lot in the beef industry. And kind of, I got convinced by someone named Ken King that his methodology would be my golden ticket, and I got greedy, and we paid him $1,000 a week for 16 weeks, and some of those weeks he wasn't even available. A lot of the ideas that he gave us weren't working. And so I'm a problem solver, and I ended up figuring out a way to use Facebook groups to get lots and lots of customers for our beef business through funnels that, yes, he'd created the funnels, but he had me do a WebEx or a video call with him and explain exactly how I did everything. And he used that in his business to grow and develop his business, and he's still using some of those principles today. And it was just it was shady, it hurt, and it caused a lot of turmoil in our relationship with my wife, because one of the reasons we left the city was to stop being a part of a life where I'm working 80 hours a week or 60 hours a week with little kids. And with the beef business, that's what it became for me, and I chose that over my family, and that's still stuck in my head of how do I overcome that false belief that I'm a bad dad if I spend time working on my business instead of with my family. I'm a bad dad if I miss an event, or I'm a bad, any of those false beliefs. They're really hard to break and overcome, and some of them will, you'll never know. That's the hardest part about parenting, is will they think? They may think now, like, gosh, Dad spends more time working and, in a business than he does with us, or he cares more about that than he does about us. Like, there's so many things that kids and us as adults think, that it becomes, I don't know, like, paralyzing, I guess, in a way, especially as the parent trying to, like, monitor that or gauge that and things like that. But I don't know, kind of super tangent there. Okay, back to what I was saying about what businesses, where am I going? What am I trying to do? What's the right path? Okay, so when I started the podcast, I went with the direction of, I'm going to open a business. I haven't done that yet, but I'm going to open a business, LLC, called Local Beef Productions. And Local Beef Productions would include the Local Beef Show, Local Beef Podcast. It would include anything that is related to local beef would all wrap under the umbrella of Local Beef Productions. Still have that going. It also has Local Beef Shop, all these things, all these different ideas, that I'm putting out there. Cook local beef, so many things. Okay, so I feel like what I'm doing now is a bit of what I did when I did the beef business, in that I've gotten good advice, right? But then I go out and I seek more advice, and I seek more advice, and I do different things, and like, I need to just focus in 100% on the advice I'm getting from Russell Brunson and do a webinar. And from that webinar, I'm going to be pitching sellingbeef.com, and I'm going to bring in different people to help promote that, health influencers and things like that, where I'm going to give them half of the revenue from the sale of that. But and actually, health influencers aren't the right people, but people that are influencing other farmers and ranchers, I'm gonna give them half of what I'm making and just build it out. Like, go for a webinar and just start making some sales. He has an award that is a 1 comma club. That means the first $1,000 that you sell on a funnel, you get an award. I wrote on my board that I wanted to get that by May 1st, and I didn't. Today is May 2nd, and I have to, like, that's my North Star. So not North Star, but like that's the near-term goal that gets me to the long-term goal of changing the beef industry. Can't change the beef industry if I'm not making an impact, if I'm not making money, and not, actively doing things to change lives. So that's where I'm at. It's May 2nd, and I'm putting this out here. Honestly, I really don't think that anybody... I'm doing this for me. I'm not recording this for anyone else. I wanted to have a video log of my journey for future generations, and I always think I need to do that, and I haven't, and it's really bugging me. Big part of me getting the microphones, which I'm not using right now, was so that I could record just like this. Like, I drive a lot, and so I've got all this time in a car. I've got these microphones that are fantastic, that are Bluetooth, where I can just be on a drive and I can talk things out and record and all that. So if this helps you, that's fantastic. Keep pushing forward. I think there's so much more that we can do. And to future me, hi, thanks. Thanks for pushing forward and not hitting the snooze button and being the person that you are. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.